Alright guys, so this is my room. Here is my bed with my beautiful pink sheets that nobody likes but me because they're a little childish, but I absolutely love them. I have my little bears up here, which I don't know if anybody remembers this. These are from 2002 from Victoria's Secret. This is Lily and there's Spike. My brother got me these forever ago, and I just think that's such a cool little collectible. But yeah, I keep most of my makeup in my Alex drawer right here. Have some lip products up there, my little lamp thing, and then this is awesome. I got this on Amazon. These are like, you plug it in and then you have like USB ports, which pretty much takes care of everything I need. And then I have this guy right here from IKEA as well. I love this shelf. It literally keeps most of my palettes on there and pretty much everything. I have my little map right there where you scratch off where you've been, my ring light, and then here I just keep some brushes, beauty blenders, things that I do my makeup with. I'll show you that in just a moment. And then here I just have my little setup for my, there's a lot of stuff on here for now, but for my laptop, have my keyboard, everything like that, and my closet. It's not the biggest room in the world, but it does hold everything I need and it's cute. I like it. So I'll start with the Alex drawers right here. So this first drawer right here, not all of this is makeup. Some of it I just use like the same way I would a nightstand. Like for example here, I do have some extra makeup wipes. A lot of these are from BoxyCharm if you recognize them. I have my little, do you guys remember these? Those were always fun. I have my little stress relief spray from Bath & Body Works, and then just some, like, this is essential oils that you put on little bracelets that my boyfriend got me. I have some salt. I have one of those, it's not here right now, but the little breathing devices that you put salt in, that's supposed to help you. I have a little stress ball, just little things like that that I like to kind of have next to the bed. And then here is where the party starts. It is a mess in here. So I'm gonna go through this the same way that I do my face because this is all kind of complexion products. So let's start with primers. So first I have the Hangover RX by Too Faced. I think I got this when Ulta was having their 21 Days of Beauty or something like that. It's nice because it does come with a pump. I'm almost finished with this guy. I do like this primer because I have dry skin, but I prefer something a little more tacky that leaves your skin a little more tacky. So I don't think this is one that I'll repurchase, but I've definitely been enjoying using it. It is a good primer. Next I have this guy. This is the Tarte Base Tape. This is also kind of coconut scented. It has a little pump. This smells kind of similar to the Too Faced one, but slightly different, but it's another one of those hydrating ones. This leaves your skin a little more tacky than the other one. So I do like it. I've only used it maybe once or twice. Usually when I get new makeup, I try it out, test it out once or twice, and then I just put it in rotation so that when I finish a primer, I'll use this one, since they are essentially kind of the similar idea. If I have different primers that I want to use on different days, usually they're either pore filling ones or a hydrating one depending on my need for that day. But if I have similar products, I'll usually try to use one up before I go into the other one. But I usually test it out right away, but I don't form a really good opinion. So some of these things I've tried out, I've liked, but I don't really have a complete review on them, if that makes sense. So this is the Base Tape. I do really like this. I think when I initially tried this, I preferred it over the Hangover Primer just because it did give my skin that tacky feel. But yeah, I'll still have to test it out a little more. Up next, I have the Glassy Touch and Soul Skin Balm. So this is like a little balm. It looks like this. And I do like this. People rave about this. I think I prefer it on days that I don't really wear a lot of makeup, just because this kind of doesn't really shine through when you have a full face of heavy foundation, but when you don't, my boyfriend randomly told me that my skin looked really, really healthy, and so it definitely lives up to its name. I like it, but I only wear it really when I'm not wearing a ton of makeup to really get the most use out of it. Now, this right here is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This I also heard a lot of people raving about, and I really wanted it. My only thing with this is that it kind of dries me out under my foundation. So I usually mix this in with foundation, and I like it a lot more for that. So this I use more of like a mix-in when I want a little extra kind of luminosity, and I really like it for that. Next I have Benefit's Professional. This was my mom's favorite primer for a while before she found the Touch and Soul one, the No Problem primer. But I do like this. Initially I wasn't really that into it, but this was years ago, so I haven't tried this new one yet. I'm pretty excited to try it. It's brand new, just to see if I have a different opinion, because over the years you can kind of change what you like and what you don't like. So I'm definitely going to open this up soon and test it out, see if I still like it as much or more than I did before. Last, for my primers, I have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I love this stuff. This is like a primer that I actually noticed a difference with some primers. I feel like you can't really tell that much between one or the other, but this one I definitely see a difference. I think my skin looks really good and kind of smooth when I use it, so I definitely recommend this guy. I think someone recommended this, and then maybe it was Jeffree Star, where everyone started buying it and it was like sold out everywhere, but I got it on Amazon, I believe. And I've been really enjoying this, so definitely recommend. So I basically have 2 of each kind of primer. I have 2 pore filling primers, 2 hydrating primers, and 2 kind of less makeup / just luminosity primers that I can mix in. So yeah, I definitely love my primer collection. I do want to try the Tatcha one like this, but I really like this one, so I don't know if I really need that one. But let me know if you've tried both, if the other one's that much better, or if this is a solid dupe. Next, for foundations, I have the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. This has probably been my favorite drugstore foundation for quite some time. I really do like it. I have 2 colors because I have a darker one and a lighter one, and I sometimes mix them depending on what I look like tan-wise, but this is awesome. I have dry skin, so keep that in mind. That's why this works so well for me, because it is a little more dewy. I don't really like looking all the way matte, especially in the summertime, which you're sweating more in the summertime, so it's not really that much of an issue to look a little glowy, but I like this stuff. The Born This Way by Too Faced is what I used to use, then I found this and thought it was like potentially even better than that one. Just doesn't give as smooth of a finish, so I do like this, but I'm ready to kind of move on from this. When I finish this, I'm going to try some high-end foundations to really explore a little more, because I've been using this for so long and I'm kind of bored, but I'll probably end up going back to it because I love it so much. Another one from the drugstore is my Infallible L'Oreal Paris. This guy's obviously well known. It is an amazing foundation. I feel like even for my high-end foundations, if I want to look completely flawless, this is what I'm going to choose. But if I want to look more dewy, I'll use the Milani. But I absolutely love this. Recommend me any other kind of drugstore foundations that you like, but this one I definitely highly recommend. Up next, I have this Dream Cushion Maybelline foundation. It's a cushion foundation. I love this kind of stuff in the summer where I just want to kind of pat something on. I've only used this just swatched on my face so far. This is in 30 Warm Nude, which is perfect for when I'm a little tanner. I haven't worn it all over my face yet, so I'm not 100% sure on how it's going to work, but a lot of people seem to love it, so I'm excited to use this a little more. Next, I have the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I do like this. I think I've only used it like once or twice. It doesn't really break apart on me. I do have dry skin, so I don't know if that's part of the reason. It's not my absolute favorite, but I do like it. I'm still testing it out. I think this was from BoxyCharm. I got lucky enough to pick the right shade for myself, so we'll see how I feel about it in the future, but I don't like it more than my drugstore options, so if that says anything. Next, I have the Ciati London Extraordinary Foundation. This is in the shade Linen 104Y. People are obsessed with this foundation, and for some reason, I don't actually like it that much. I feel like it's a little gray on me, but that might have to do with the color, but also it doesn't really give me a smooth finish. I feel like it looks a little cakey, and everyone seems to say it's not cakey, so I don't know if it's just me. Let me know if you've tried this and if you like it. I love the packaging. You get a lot of product, but yeah. Moving on to concealers, I have the Pretty Vulgar concealer right here. I use this as foundation. I don't even use it as concealer because it's not great. I don't want to say it sucks, but it's just not, it's not what I need, at least. We'll put it that way. I try to use it just on my eyelids as a eyeshadow primer, but even then it wasn't really working too well, so it is what it is. I do like it on just all over my face. It's not bad, so that's what I use it for, so I'll probably end up using it up fast. I'm just glad I found a way to use it because I do not enjoy this whatsoever. Then, of course, I have Tarte Shape Tape, which is my favorite concealer of all time. I have really bad dark circles. My eyes are pretty deep set. I get it from my grandma. They're just completely dark even when I get enough sleep, so I definitely, to be fair, I haven't tried drinking water and being super healthy yet, so maybe I'll try that. But yeah, this is my favorite concealer. Nothing comes close to it, so I keep repurchasing it. I get it in light sand, which is perfect for me. I'm kind of yellow undertoned. I also have the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced. I thought I would like this so much more than Tarte Shape Tape if it had the same coverage, but maybe more hydrating, but this creases on me initially, so I don't unfortunately like it as much, but it is a good concealer, but I still prefer the Tarte Shape Tape over this guy. Next, I have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. This is also a recent purchase for me. I actually really like this. I think it's comparable to Tarte Shape Tape. Not as good, I don't think, but definitely comparable. Like, you think it's as good, and then you try Shape Tape again, and you're like, oh, maybe not. But it is very, very nice when I don't want to use my Tarte Shape Tape, so I definitely recommend this guy for sure. The shades were difficult to pick, I'm not gonna lie. I have it in light sand, which you look at that, I should have known. But yeah, this is still pretty light. Last but not least, for concealer, I have the Instant Age Rewind. This is the corrector, or no, neutralizer, 150 neutralizer, which is really nice for kind of no makeup days, or little makeup days, to kind of put under the eyes with some, you know, cushion foundation, just feeling all fresh. So I definitely like this for those moments. Now we're finally moving on to some powders. So I have the Airspun Loose Face Powder. I've had this forever. I'm almost done with it. I will not be repurchasing this because this gives me crazy flashback for some reason. I do like the way it makes my skin look, but it's time for this baby to go. Like, I've had her for way too long. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder. I love this stuff, obviously. I've hit pan on it. I think this is a repurchase at least once or twice. I use it under my eyes. I use different powder under my eyes than I do all over my face, and I don't really use that much powder on my face because I am drier. But I do like this powder. I actually found a drugstore option I like more than this under my eyes, so I'm probably gonna start just buying that one. But this has been my ride or die for a long time. I really, really like this powder. So speaking of which, this is the powder that I found that I actually like more than the Fit Me for under my eyes. This one just gives off less cakey, kind of a smoother look. I really, really like this powder. This is the Advanced Radiance CoverGirl powder in 110 Creamy Natural. And I use a wet beauty blender, like a tiny one, and kind of just roll it around and put it under my eyes, tap it lightly. And that's usually the best way for under my eyes. I definitely recommend pressed powders for under your eyes if you're a little on the drier side. Up next, I have the Fit Me Loose Powder. This is in Fair Claire. This is pretty much full. I've used it maybe once. I just want to finish the Airspun before I really get into this, but I feel like it's comparable to that one. It's very nice. I'm not sure about flashback yet. I haven't taken any pictures, so I'm curious about that. If you know anything and Airspun gives you flashback and this doesn't, let me know. But yeah, I am excited to use this a little more and to have a drugstore option. Up next, I have the Becca. This is the, what are you called? Set and Refresh powder. This is the Hydra Mist powder, so yeah. So this guy, I hear it oxidizes. I don't really have an issue with that. I know it loses its moisture. I haven't used it in a while, so hopefully it didn't lose its moisture just yet. The one thing that I love about this is the freaking packaging, how it has like a little thing that you open, so whenever you unscrew this, the powder doesn't fly everywhere. I know that's just to keep it cool, but I kind of want to reuse this for other powders just because it is such a nice idea to not get powder everywhere, because the Airspun gets everywhere. But yeah, I do like this powder. I'll probably use this after Airspun just to kind of use it up while it's still good. Next, I have the Ciate London Everyday Vacay powder. It's the coconut setting powder. I have not used this yet. I have so many, it's completely sealed. I have so many other loose powders that I figure once I use those up, I'll be able to open this up because I don't want it to start getting air in it, start going bad when it doesn't need to just yet. But I'm excited to try this. Let me know if you've tried this and if you like it. Up next, I have the Tutti Fruitti It's Bananas Brightening Setting Powder. It's still in its packaging. I do like this powder. I haven't tested out enough. It's a little dirty because I put my beauty blender in there to get the product out, but I do like this. I do think there's an initial layer that you need to get through. That's what I've heard, so I'm hoping when that happens I'll like it a little more. But I just love Too Faced packaging, so really anything from there. I don't even care how well it works, if I'm being honest. I know that's silly, but it is what it is. It's what I like. So yeah, I definitely like this powder. It's not like my absolute favorite, but I'm thinking if I get past that first layer, it might be a little better. Now this drawer just has some stuff in the back, has everything I just showed you kind of obnoxiously stuffed in. I have some of these, which are like little masks that you put next to your eye so that you can not get eyeshadow on it. I have some lashes in there, an extra beauty blender, just little knickknacks like that. I have like a little beauty blender holder, which is definitely handy when you're traveling, so I definitely recommend getting one of these. This is from Real Techniques. I shouldn't call it a beauty blender because that's like the brand. Okay, so this drawer has all of my bronzers, blushes, and highlights. These are awesome, these little dividers, if I can maybe kind of move one so you can see. These are from the Cosmetic Archive, I believe. I have two kinds, one with like thicker ones and one with thinner ones, and it keeps everything together. I love these. They fit perfectly in the Alex drawers this way, but I kind of put them to the side because the Alex drawers, it's really frustrating. They don't open all the way, so you can't get to stuff back here, so I have to kind of position it like this. Let's start with bronzers. So I have an obsession with Too Faced bronzers. I think I have 9, so let's take this as quickly as possible. So first I have the old packaging in some of these bronzers. This is the Milk Chocolate Soleil. I got these, I think this one is from actual Sephora, but the other ones I think are from TJ Maxx. They still smell good. I got them right when the packaging changed, so they're not that old, but they're still a little old. I love this guy. This is, yeah, milk chocolate. I don't really use matte bronzers that often, but when I do, this is one of my favorites. So yeah, I really want the updated packaging, so I'm going to try to use this up and get my hands on that if there's ever a sale on the bronzers, which happens all the time. I also have the Chocolate Soleil, which is just the darker one, which I use when I'm more tan. Also just a matte bronzer, just to have those two options. I have Sun Bunny, which is a little luminous, which I really enjoy. It's got the split pan. I definitely like this one as well. This one also has updated packaging, so I'll definitely get that when I finish this guy up. This is the Pink Leopard, if you remember it. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued, but this one cracked when I dropped it trying to sell it, actually, because I don't really like blushing bronzers that much, and this is like a contour shade with a blush, which just doesn't really work for me that well, but it broke, so I repressed it, so it no longer has that kind of design. It just is what it is, but I do still want to finish this up. I won't repurchase it because it doesn't exist, and I'll be done with it. But yeah, those are the 4 that I have in the old packaging. Next, I have Unicorn Tears by Too Faced. Now this one, everyone took as a joke. They were like, you know what, this is obnoxious, like, why do you need a purple unicorn inside your bronzer? But this is literally my favorite bronzer that I own. It smells good, I love the shade on me, and the reviews that I've watched on YouTube, everyone seemed to really enjoy it. It's just no one's really that interested because it just seems so silly, but I love the packaging, I love the bronzer on the inside. I'm pretty sure you can still get this, but I absolutely love this bronzer. Next, I have the Sweetie Pie bronzer by Too Faced. I absolutely like this as well. It is a blushing bronzer. I'm hoping some of this is focusing. If it's not focused, I really do apologize, but it is a blushing bronzer, but it's kind of lighter, so I like it more than the other one. Still not my favorite, unfortunately, but the packaging, I just could not resist. I'm obsessed with all of these. Next, I have the Too Faced Pineapple bronzer, so this is also split pan. I love the packaging on this. I could not resist this either. Yeah, there's not much more to say about it. They're all great bronzers. So you don't need all of them, obviously, but it's just the packaging. I cannot resist it. Next, I have the Too Faced Natural Lust Bronzer. So this packaging is absolutely incredible. It's so pretty. It doesn't have that much payoff, but I kind of like building up my bronzers, so I don't really mind that. And the packaging is gorgeous. It's just a little bigger, but I do have a spot for it, so I don't mind that much either. I kind of like having a huge pan to swirl in. This is my last Too Faced bronzers. This is the, what is this, Sweetheart bronzer? Sweet Tea, is that what it is? Yeah, Sweet Tea. It's also one of those split pans. I do like this. It's a little like grayish green on me, but I do enjoy it nonetheless. I think it's an amazing bronzer, and I'm pretty sure they still have this, so definitely recommend this guy. Up next, I do have Hoola by Benefit, which is obviously just a well-known bronzer. I don't think you need this one and the Too Faced matte bronzer necessarily, but it's kind of cool just because, you know, I mean, it's such a popular bronzer. It's just nice to have. I do wish it was in different packaging. I'm not a big fan of this kind of packaging, but I do like this bronzer as well. Next we have the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. This is my favorite drugstore bronzer, as you can tell. I really, really like this. I kind of want a darker shade as well, but I'm definitely gonna use this up sometime soon probably. I also have the L'Oreal Lumi bronzer. I've only tried this out like once or twice, just because people were recommending it. Once again, I'm sorry if I'm having a hard time focusing. The camera's not liking this angle, but I do like this bronzer. It is a little more luminous, which is something I love, so I'm definitely going to keep testing this out, and it's a larger pan as well, which is kind of fun. I also have this guy. This is the Wet n Wild foundation stick that I tried to use as a contour, but it's way too orange, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to use this as a bronzer or kind of add to my foundation, but yeah, not sure how I feel about this. If I had a different color, I would probably like it a little more. Moving on to my blushes, I have this Too Faced one in Cherry Bomb. I love the packaging of these. I picked this up at TJ Maxx and I wanted a color that was unique to my collection, and this is pretty red, so I use a very light hand with it, but I love this and I love the smell of these. I like the packaging. It's just nice to have one thing from the collection. Next I have this Hourglass one in Diffused Heat. These blushes are incredible when it comes to staying power. Staying power. I think these blushes are ones that I see at the end of the day when I wear them, so I definitely highly recommend these. They're such good quality. Hourglass is a more expensive brand. I think I got this one from BoxyCharm, so yeah, highly recommend these. I also have the Ciate London one in Halo, which kind of same idea as the Hourglass one, but it's very, very pretty. I also have these two from Too Faced, the Sweetheart blushes. One is in Something About Berry, and one is about in Peach Beach. I love these. These were like the first high-end product that I bought. I used to walk into Sephora with my mom and just swatch these every day because I loved glitter, and these are very glittery, but I absolutely love these. I will love them forever, and I'll probably keep the packaging once I'm done with them, so yeah. I have this Pixi by Petra blush in Beach Rose, so these are the kind of tones I love. But yeah, this is a beautiful tone. I also have this blush from Milani. These are amazing. I think Corliss is the most popular. This one's something rose, I think, but I love these. I love shimmery blushes, so definitely recommend these from the drugstore. I have this Milk Makeup lip and cheek stick. I hate this on the lips, but on the cheeks I actually love it. I'm getting into cream products, as I'm sure a lot of people are right now, so I actually really, really enjoy this. I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase another one. I really want to try the Fenty cream ones, but I do enjoy this. I have two of these little mini Tarte blushes. They're not my favorite just because I'm not that big on matte blushes, but I have like a peachy one. This one's in Quirky. And then I also have Party, which is kind of more of like a nude. And I do like both of these, but I don't use them that much. I want to use them up, honestly. For some reason, I don't really enjoy minis. There was a time where I loved minis because I was like, why purchase the full product? But now, not my favorite. I also have a mini Nars Orgasm. I'm really glad I got a mini because I don't use it that much. I got it after all the hype died down, and I guess I don't really understand the hype. I get it, it's pretty, but I don't think it's any better than other blushes that I have, so I'm glad I have a mini in it versus like a full pan that I bought. I have this little Lancome one in A Plum. It's like more purpley toned, which I don't use that much. It's not my favorite color, but it's just kind of a nice one to have on hand. I have this Steve Laurent blush in Rosé All Day. It's a very pretty matte blush. It is more pink toned, which isn't my favorite, but this is another one that I'll probably try panning sometime soon, but it is a good quality blush. Like, there is payoff in this guy. This is Cosmic Gangster blush. This is by, what were you? Space Case. This I'm almost hit pan on. It's almost like a creamy, yeah, it's definitely creamy. But I do really like this as a cream blush. I usually set it with a powder just because it is so kind of light, but I do like this and I'll definitely keep using it, hopefully use it up sometime soon. Alright, let's move on to some highlighters. So I don't have as many highlighters just because they're all kind of the same to me. But for the ones that I do have the Jeffree Star Ice Cold. So this is probably my oldest maybe highlighter. I do like this. It's very intense and obnoxious, so I really kind of just wear this if I'm going out or something like that and just want to be like lit, you know, like really, really lit. I have this little Gilded Honey by Laura Geller. I absolutely love this. This is like one of my favorite formulas. I think I have one formula that I like a little more than this, but they're pretty much the same. I love this guy. I think it's so great. It's a beautiful, beautiful highlight. I definitely recommend this one. I have this guy from, is this Space Case again? What is this? No, this is something else. It's called Twilight. I don't know if you can make out what it is, but it's almost like a peachy highlighter. I really, really like this. It looks dark, but when you kind of spread it out on the skin, it gives you a really pretty peach glow. So I really like this during the summertime. I also have Cover FX drops that I used to just mix into my foundation, but now that I have the Becca kind of primer, I kind of just use this as a highlighter when I'm doing cream products, which it's beautiful. There's nothing bad I can say about these. All right, let's move on to some face palettes. So I'm obsessed with face palettes. For some reason, they're like my favorite. I have this guy by Tarte. This is the Clay Play palette. It looks like this. I love these bronzers. They are so pigmented. They're very intense. I don't really use the eyeshadows. That's why it's in here. I'm not that big of a fan of the Tarte formula, maybe, or at least I haven't tried one that I actually really, really love. But I do use this for bronzers, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the packaging. It's heavy. Then I have the Shade and Light contour palette, which is probably my favorite for contouring. I really, really like this. I don't really like the powders that much, but I do use this guy for contour, and it's my favorite, so I kind of try to use this one sometimes, but this is like the best tone for me. Next, I have the Natural Face palette by Too Faced. I mean, Too Faced, you know me. It's like my favorite. I love this palette. It smells good, it's cute, it has blushes, bronzers, and highlights. It's pretty much everything you need in a face palette, two of each, so I love this palette. I also have Cocoa Contour by Too Faced. This guy, I've only tested like once, so I still have to do a little more testing. We got this in BoxyCharm, but obviously, I mean, I can't say no to Too Faced packaging, whether it's a great product or not, but yeah, I'll definitely test this out a little more. Next, I have the Sugar Peach Face and Eye Palette, Wet and Dry. This is probably my favorite face palette that I own. These are so beautiful. I love blushes, I love glitter. Everything about this is absolutely amazing. I just cannot. This is literally my favorite palette that I have. Here I have the Hourglass Ambient Light. This is the Ghost palette. I think this is the most recent. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do like this, but for some reason it got hyped up so much that I'm not that obsessed with it. Maybe just because it was so expensive that I just expected more. The bronzer I like, the shade isn't my favorite. Obviously I love Hourglass blushes, but it's so small that it's hard to get my brush into. The highlight I actually really, really enjoy. It is pink toned, so it's not for every day for me, but the powders I expected more from. Everyone's obsessed with them. I just have to test it out a little more, I think, because it was so expensive that I just expected the absolute world for this. So it's not that it's not delivering, I just need a little more time, I think. And I have my favorite highlighters of all time. This is the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped. These are my favorite. There's like, I can use one as a bronzer topper. These two I just use as highlighters. It's just gorgeous. I love, love, love these highlighters. They're literally my favorite for every day, for going out, anything. So yeah, favorite highlighters right here. The rest of my Alex drawers is really just, I have like some jewelry and bows and things like that in here, and then here I kind of keep some of my nail stuff. So that's it for up here. I'll move you up for a second. So up here I have my beautiful little lipstick tower. This is from Bella Posh. I love it. It's such good quality. There's not much in it because I keep most of my lipsticks elsewhere. Up here I just have some of my lip glosses. So I have my favorite ones, which are my Fenty glosses. I have a little bit of Too Faced. I have some NYX Butter glosses, which are my favorite from the drugstore. I have Milani, this Wet n Wild one just because I wanted it for the packaging, honestly. I have some Dose of Colors, some Buxom. Buxom's my second favorite, so yeah, I keep them kind of in a bowl. I love lip glosses, so I kind of just like having them all in one place. Up top, this is like an Easter thing, which is silly, but I do like it. And then Up here are all of my kind of bullet lipsticks. I don't have that many. I have some from the Peach collection. Packaging on these are gorgeous. I absolutely love them. I like the smell. So yeah, I have two red ones, which I really don't need two red ones, but it is what it is. I like them. And then I have this nude one, which is in the shade Sunday Fun Day. I think Kathleen Lights really liked this one. That's why I picked it up. I can't remember. But yeah, then I have I don't know, I remember if this is going to be Kat Von D or the new brand, which they really should have changed the name to something a little different. But yeah, looks like it's still Kat Von D. This is Lolita, but there's so many different Lolitas that you never know which one it really is. I have one of the Too Faced Natural lipsticks in Pout About It. I love these. This is Toasted Almond from L'Oreal. There's some NYX, I believe this is. Yeah, this is Marc Jacobs, like a mini. The Marc Jacobs formula is like my favorite. This is in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I believe. Yeah, and I absolutely love this formula. Then I have some Maybelline. This is my favorite drugstore matte lipsticks. This is in Daring Nude. I had other ones, but I don't know what happened to them. But yeah, these in like the little purple top are my favorite matte lipsticks from the drugstore. I absolutely love them. I have some Soap and Glory. I don't even know what this is. Looks like L'Oreal. Yeah, L'Oreal. And this, if I can get it out, is Revlon. So just, you know, a few lipsticks here and there. I do like bullet lipsticks. I just kind of got rid of all the old ones that I had recently just because I wasn't really using them. So yeah, and then the only other thing on here is some of these little Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadows, which I absolutely adore. And then I have a larger one right here, which is in Rose Gold Retro, I believe. Yeah, which is one of my favorites. This is amazing. And then I have a little Ulta kind of glitter eyeshadow that I absolutely love. So yeah, that's all I keep on here. I think it's a cute little area for me.